It is the story of an awkward teenage boy, an outcast, who discovers a whole separate world by saving the life of a snow leopard that appears in his backyard. The Kindling of GreenFyr is the first in a series of 4 fantasy adventures in which 2 worlds collide, and it's becoming a common sight on middle school reading lists all around the state. And here to tell us all about it, author Mark Freeman and East Lyme Middle School teacher Liz Brouillard. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, set this up for folks who are watching. Tell us the premise of the book.
Owen is again, like you said, an awkward teenager, doesn't have a lot of friends, he's sort of a loner, and he stumbles across this cat running through his backyard. The cat's actually being chased by these 3 hounds, and the thing that Owen notices right away is that they've got these glowing green eyes, and that event leads him to stumble into this conspiracy of bringing back or connecting our world to this other world, a magical twin of our own, and reconnecting them. And he finds himself in the middle of the whole thing.
In flipping through the book, it's very reminiscent of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Right.
Is there some connection there? I mean,
well, thank you, first of all, for making that connection. But yeah, there's an underlying theme to the story in that there's a connection between all the fantasy literature and this other magical world. Mythology has a place. If you look at all these fantasy traditions, characters such as Merlin and Gandalf and Dumbledore are all very reminiscent of one another. I mean, even down to the quirky personality traits. And you can easily say, well, it's because long hair and beards connote wisdom, but as a writer and as a fan of the genre, I've always wondered if there was something more, and wouldn't it be neat if there was something more to that story. And an underlying theme in the book is hopefully linking that all together. So
this book was released last August. It has really taken off since then, and now it's becoming required reading in some Connecticut schools, including the East Lyme School District, right? I mean, what have you noticed in terms of your class? Why did you decide to make GreenFyr a part of your class?
Well, we decided mainly because Mark came to the school and just totally inspired the kids. He came and he spoke about his career as a writer and also as a nature wildlife biologist. And some kids who really were just not reading, didn't love to read, took the book after hearing the first chapter being read by Mark and just devoured it. They took it home with them. This one child actually I know that she wouldn't go anywhere without the book. And that really just convinced me that I needed to take my class in a different direction. Not all kids are required to read the book, however they have the choice. And what I did do is use the book really to analyze the writing part of it, so that every student was exposed to the story, so they could model their own writing after Mark's writing. He used the text is rich with allusions and metaphors, similes, personification. It's just really well written. Next year, we're actually going to be using the book in a different way, which is more like the hero journey, and using it with Tolkien and with other great writers, so that we can look at the hero archetype in all the stories. So, yeah, the kids, when you see kids inspired by a story, you really have no other choice but to put it out there and keep offering it.
And that has to make you feel good as an author as well, especially when the main character is a young boy and little girls are really taken to the book as well.
Right, right. It's been a tremendous privilege to work with Liz in the classroom, and to be a writer and actually see kids in the classroom using your work and talking about it and really getting what you were attempting to do. It's a tremendous feeling.
Now, I want to talk about your background with wildlife, because I think it was very interesting is that you worked with the Connecticut DEP, you studied grizzly bears, you studied bobcats and black bears, and so then you see the wildlife kind of inserted into this book.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me not to put wildlife and ecology into anything that I'm writing at this point. They've always been 2 passions of mine, and to be able to put them together in a book is fantastic. Even the title is actually a nod to Aldo Leopold, who was he's the father of modern wildlife biology.
Because at first I thought GreenFyr referred to the snow leopard in this book, but that's not. What is GreenFyr then? GreenFyr
is actually a sword in the book, but there's a little more to the story as the series goes on. You'll actually learn more about GreenFyr. But GreenFyr, as far as Aldo saw it, was the fierce green fire of wilderness that he saw fade from a wolf's eyes, and it changed the way he actually thought of wildlife and management, and changed the way we think of it now.
So we talked about how the book is being used at East Lyme Middle Schools. Other schools in the state as well? Notre Dame?
Notre Dame has it as an optional read for their freshman and sophomore. Haddam Killingworth Middle School had me there, and they were doing a community read with the book. They actually had the whole school reading it, and I was there for an event to kick it off.
But you were talking about how some of the students just have really taken to this book that they don't even want to put it down.
Yeah, I mean, and it's students who are not really readers, you know, kids who don't like to read, but also a lot of our gifted kids as well. So I think that that was another reason I wanted to make sure to purchase the text for the school, was because we have a wide variety of readers, and you want to make sure that everyone's challenged and enjoy their reading. And that's what we found with the Kindling of GreenFyr.
So we talked about how this is the first in a series of 4 books. Do we see the main character, Owen, grow up and through his teenage years in the rest of the books?
He's a teen throughout, yeah. You don't see him as an adult, but he is in all 4, and he is the main character. And yeah, he does evolve and get a little bit older, but not much.
And other projects in the works for you, or?
There's always projects in the works,
Yeah.
but yeah, when I first published this, when this book was first published, I'd already started working on a different project. With this one being picked up and the second book needing to be put out, I shelved a few and started on book 2 already.
And did you think that this first book was going to get the attention that it's gotten?
I think most writers don't ever expect to be published, and the attention has been fantastic. I've been thrilled with it and very surprised.
That's so great. Well, you're here to talk to us today. You also have an event around here tomorrow.
What's
going on?
The New Haven Library. I'll be doing a reading at the New Haven Library. There's a school that'll be coming with some of their students and to discuss the book and listen to me read from it at 10 o'clock.
Well, the book, once again, is The Kindling of GreenFyr, author Mark Freeman and Liz Brouillard. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And don't go away. There's more Connecticut Style coming up right after this. Stay with us.